We've referred to this a couple times in the podcast. Most recently, when Alan was out of town and we had Irv on, and we discussed the fact that men are simple creatures. Men are very basic individuals who have a simple thought process, simple in, simple out, correct?
Correct. And correct, when I say correct, I mean the correct thought process and the correct answers to everything. I've just across the board.
Occam's razor all the time. So, and then I take Occam's razor and I do a straight shave and I cut
See?
myself.
Multitasking. That's what we do. Okay? No need to throw that shit around.
So I was playing golf this weekend. Played 3 rounds in a row. Friday, Saturday, actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It's all right.
And not back to back to back. I'm not that fucking cool
No,
or in shape. But it was cart path only. And for those of you who don't know, you're riding your cart, but you have to keep it on the concrete cart path. And while it's not as bad as walking with a bag on your back for 18 holes, it can be cumbersome. It can be tiresome, especially if you're drinking all day, which we were. So anyway, we decide to eat dinner at they did have a full-fledged, like, they had a dining room. They encouraged golfers to go in and eat. It was great. It wasn't one of these like simple little joints that had club sandwiches. Or Alan, what'd you say is chicken or Caesar wrap is?
Chicken Caesar wrap, man.
That's actually Alan's hallmark of a good golf course, has to have a chicken Caesar wrap.
It's
Yeah,
the
but you
wrap.
also like scoffed at the club sandwich. Like the club sandwich is like I don't even
Well-
care if it's just BLT club style. Like that's a sandwich, man. That's
My-
a meal.
My
He's
point
fine.
is, this had a full-blown restaurant menu.
Okay.
Okay,
that's a
it
nice
had
place.
club sandwiches in addition to, and
Where was it? Could I ask?
Baywoods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
And we're walking in, and I say, I don't give a fuck what's on the menu. If they have a crab cake or a crab cake sandwich of any sort, I'm getting it. That's it. I'll give the menu a once over, and the second I see that, my decision's made. I'm keeping it simple. And I flicked through, and I saw a crab cake sandwich, and then I glanced in the other page where they had the weekly specials, and it was bacon wrapped meatloaf. And I changed my mind in an
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
never just commit like that. That's just.
Well, I mean, well, okay. So, I mean, were you? Let me ask you this: were you disappointed with your selection after you made it?
God, no. It was
See?
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Had like a nice like ketchup glaze on that puppy.
Yeah, I've
Ah.
seen stuff.
Mashed potatoes, and that they had the vegetable du jour, which is kind of a medley. Carrots,
How's that a
asparagus.
vegetable du jour when they just put multiple vegetables and like it's not really that. A vegetable du jour is like creamed asparagus in a tartare sauce. I don't know what the fuck that even means, but like that would be like that would be. But that's why they only do it one day because they're trying to get rid of that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the last 3 days du jour put together with, I don't know, a dollop of butter and a bunch of garlic. Yeah, it was really good. I think my point was just how committed I was to a crab cake and why I thought, man, I know for a fact this place is going to make a great crab cake. I think I've seen one. Maybe I have. I don't know. I saw it on a billboard, maybe driving in. That wasn't photoshopped at all or doctored up. That was a legit photo from a Baywood Greens crab cake dining room. Anyway, and then the second I saw that, I couldn't help myself, man. I was like Pepe Le Pew, smelling the must from whatever faces undercarriage. I forget the fucking character's name.
There was. I don't even know if there was. He was just really in. I don't even think Pepe's allowed to be in existence anymore, if I'm not mistaken. If he is, he's got a whole new bag of tricks up his sleeve because that ain't flying in the year 2023.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if you can still get that anywhere. You probably can stream it somewhere.
Oh, you can find the old ones, but I'm just saying, like, Pepe's tune has probably changed a little bit in the last decade or so.
Do they still make Pepe cartoons?
I don't think so. He
I
might
don't-
show up. He's like in the background, like when they do like the big like spread of all the characters that Looney Tunes still
Yeah,
has. It's just like he's about 3 pixels high in the back, just doing that.
Yeah.
So,
This
yeah.
is like the revamped version is like the old Jersey Chuck E. Cheese, right? Yeah, he's like, smoking, hey kids, and he's just like, hi, this is the brand new Chuck E. Cheese, and they unveil it. Like, this is the brand new Pepe Le Pew, PC all around the board. Doesn't sack chase anymore. He's a gentleman. He says please and thank you and opens doors.
That's all he does. He holds doors. He asks pronouns. He just, he doesn't gawk anymore. He corrects those that do. But look, Meatloaf
Hold on, I think Alan's got an update
Yeah,
on. Pepe
I
Le
don't
Pew.
know. I saw this line and it just made me giggle. He was briefly removed from Cartoon Network in 1999, which was quite a while ago, for fear that he was an offensive stereotype. Which fair, but Latin American support brought him back in 2002. Good job, Latin America.
Wow.
They were like, you know what? He's not that sleazy.
Wait, is that Pepe Le Pew or is that Speedy Gonzalez?
That's Ed Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew. Yeah. I mean, it could be Speedy Gonzalez. Maybe I didn't read far enough. Oh no, Pepe Le Pew. All right, yeah, maybe we did. Nope, he didn't. He's not canceled, but they don't have anything to do with him, and they probably.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do with them, right?
No,
That was-
yeah, no,
that
you're
was-
right.
That was the whole gag.
Yeah, I know. And by the way, wasn't he French? I thought Pepe Le Pew was French.
Yeah, he was.
And he was,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and just
That's how cultured
Yeah.
Latin America is. They support the French too.
I just, but how's that a stereotype? It's like I mean, it's not like an ethnic stereotype. It's a geographical, like, I don't know what you call that, a nationality stereotype. Like just
Yeah, you
the
can
French.
have fucking nationality stereotypes. Like the English have fucking bad teeth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
They
yeah,
do.
you can have those.
Oh, not to switch subjects completely here, but are you guys aware
Hold
of
on.
that naked dating show that's on HBO right now?
Oh yeah, that's an English thing.
Yeah.
You were-
Well,
You were gonna say, speaking of meatloaf.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, get.
Is
Well,
this
I'm
it?
getting these naked chicks, man. Speaking of meatloaf. No, so this guy is going through and they pick him. They're like, oh, what do you think about her bum? And he's like, oh, I like how round it is. It's nice and then turn him around. What do you think about the triangle area? It's like,
Yeah.
I like that one. And then like the hottest chick I've seen on the show, it's next to like this another like, she's all right. A lot of tattoos. I get it. It's just a whole different look. But then her teeth are
Oh,
like
yeah.
like the two front teeth are like in this weird like
I know
triangle.
exactly which one you're talking about.
And he picks her. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you didn't take the other limey chick who looked like I mean, seriously, she could be an Instagram model. You took this one? I just,
Any woman could be an Instagram model, I think, these days.
Yeah.
well, I
No,
mean, but a good one.
Bar low.
A successful one with
Yes,
thousands
a
and thousands of
successful
followers.
one.
Yeah, okay.
But then I just realized, I'm like, oh, he's British. He doesn't, the
They
teeth,
don't care. Yeah.
he's tooth blind.
They're
Doesn't
used
even
to it.
affect
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I know exactly the episode you're talking about. That's probably like episode 1 or 2. Maybe 2.
It's
If
the first one where the chicks are behind the glass.
Yeah. But we we discovered that shit like 5 years ago when we were in England on our honeymoon. And like it was just on TV. And we were like, man, English TV's just so much more enlightened. This is fucking entertaining as fuck. And then we saw it here like a couple weeks ago and we were like, yeah, this is great. You should check it out, Wes.
This is on HBO or HBO
I think
England?
I think it's on Netflix or
It's just
Hulu.
on Max, whatever.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
HBO's
Max,
all encompassing,
Gotcha.
Cinemax HBO app now.
Yes.
And yeah,
Sure.
there's a big controversy about it, but it's actually like no worse than any
Yeah.
other reality show that exists. It's just you so happen to see cock and balls and some vajayjay
And
and
it's
titties.
not like sexualized at all, other than like the like kind of like witty shit, or lack not so witty shit that like the contestants say about people's like ass or fucking vaginas. Like, it's literally just like, here's this ass. What do you think about it? And then he's
Yeah.
like, looks firm. It's pretty juicy, like that,
And-
like that.
and-
Yeah, like it's nothing sexualized really at all. It's just fucking a very subjective or objective, I don't know, subjective fucking look at a fucking person's penis or vagina, whichever episode
What do
you're
you what do
watching.
you what do you make of this wanker here? Well, it's
Yeah,
a fine,
basically,
fair
yeah.
wanker.
100%.
Exactly right.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's got some girth. I like the. I mean, I'm not worried about length. I'm worried more about the girth, and he's doing fine there. Yeah, And then you got the one guy that's got snuffleupagus hanging down, and she's like, okay. Speaking of meatloaf,
or like there's one little white girl that saw the main dingo and was like, that's not fitting in this fucking place.
Yeah.
Get that guy out of here.
and I was happy to see that. I was like, all right, all right, we're doing all right. We're right. We are in at least this particular human's wheelhouse. Like, so hey,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing just fine. All right then.
There are other regular humans that are okay with something comparable.
Oh, yeah, it's like they're going down the line of contestants. Like, this here's Keith. He's from Liverpool. This here's Todd. He's from just outside of England. This here's Michael. He's from Manchester. And this is Mandingo from parts unknown. Okay. Turn around, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Wow. That's always like the pro
pretty
wrestler
good,
from
though.
parts unknown. Yeah, so
And
interesting.
I'll
What's it
tell you
called
what,
again?
just I don't know, just
It's
naked dating thing.
naked attraction. Is what it is.
Nah.
Yeah.
Look, tell you what, you guys, you have a couple beers. Tell Sarah have a couple glasses of wine. Sit down, enjoy yourselves, giggle. It's quite funny.
Okay.
It makes. I just love American sensibilities because we're like, ooh, it's so naughty. Ooh, butts. It's like, we're adults, folks.
And look, bottom line, I was watching on the iPad, and if you just hover your finger over that right-hand side of the screen, just kind of tap, 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 and get to the good parts, they're only like 10 minutes long. There's a lot of filler in there.
There is. Yeah.
That's like the speed dating version of the show.
Commercial
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like get to the titties. Come on, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow, look at that. Boom, 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 and that's it. End of the episode.
So are they trying to match one person with one person, or is it a single woman with 4 dudes and a single guy with 4 women, and they kind of they each have a chance? How's the dwindling down happen?
Yeah. Do you remember the dating show, the dating game? Like where you
Yeah,
didn't see
sure.
anybody at all,
Yeah,
and they ask
it's-
questions about their mind. It's
a
the other
divider,
show.
a divider with like one person and 3 contestants. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite of that. You see everybody, everything, and they literally just judge them on their nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, it's time to eliminate. Which one? I'm going to eliminate that one. Why? I don't like her ass cheeks.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
Nothing
it.
more, nothing less.
Perfect.
Done.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just starts with
He-
like the contestants all have like it's like a sliding curtain, and it like
Mm-hmm.
starts like lifted up to your fucking genitalia, and so they take a look at your bits and your butt,
Mm.
and then fucking the next they eliminate somebody, and then next round's fucking boobs or chest, and abdomen, and then last one's face, and then they make a decision.
Gotcha.
Done and done.
Gotcha. They should do that, but also blend it. And I don't want to bury the lead here about getting old, but blend it with like a singled out. Remember MTV style? It's just like a bunch of people just walk, 50 people walking. Yep, you. Remember singled out? Jenny McCarthy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
That-
do now. That's where she got her big fame, too. Then Carmen Electra right behind her.
That's right. Jenny got too big for the britches of singled out. Then Carmen Electra took over. Yeah.
Hey, Mert, did you make it to an episode with the bisexual girl?
No.
Ooh,
I
they give her guys
honestly,
and girls?
So she had 3 girls and 3 guys, and I was gonna say like, I think she picked a chick, and like, what if you're a dude and you were like, damn, I lost, and not like, I mean, I guess you can't really be like, I lost to a lady. It's not like you like lost in powerlifting or something, you know? You know what I mean? Something to feel emasculated about, but I feel like somehow you might.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But then again, if I'm on stage, I'm like, well, I like chicks too, so I get it. She's hot.
I get it. That's a good choice. I would
You know? Yeah, I'd take her too.
That kind of happened on remember Tila Tequila had
Oh,
a
yeah.
dating show where it
yeah.
was guys and girls. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a shot of love? A shot at love? Or something like that?
Shot- I think that's
it
right.
was a shot of love.
And then buried right next to it on the TV blotter was the Brett Michaels one. Remember something?
Oh, and then there was Flavor of Love.
There
That's
was
right.
Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
Didn't
Welcome to the Middle Class Holes, where we review all the shitty dating games and shows from.
Hold on. I think where Alan's head's going. I think. Go ahead.
Brett Michaels, like, you know how each of them they give you something like fucking Flavor of Love, he gave him clocks and shit. Like, did Brett Michaels give him like backstage passes, like groupies? What was the thing that he gave them? What was the rose for?
It might have been like the all access pass or something like that, or was it a bandana?
Oh, it might have been a bandana.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I got to look it up now.
with little screenshots of him having sex with Pam. Ooh. Not that I saw. Someone told me about that clip in the early 2000s. I never watched it
That
myself.
was Tommy Lee. It's a different rock star.
No. There's one with Brett Michaels, my man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm,
Brett Michaels.
a much less. I mean, it's a single camera in the corner of a bedroom, kind of dimly lit. But I mean, it's Pam.
Okay, all right, nice,
Yeah.
well done, Brett, man. That guy fucking like he made a whole career. Okay, Poison, they were a huge hair metal band, but that guy, he wrote the one song that every dude wished they could have fucking written. Every rose has a fucking thorn. He's been touring that song for 30 years now, making every goddamn bit of money he can off it, and God bless him for it. Well done, sir.
Well done, Alan. What was the key giveaway for the next round? The next contestants in, but I don't even know the name of the show. What the hell's it called?
Find it. I'm trying to I can't find. I'm trying also not to read like fucking 3 pages worth of Wikipedia on the Rock of Love because I'm not that interested. But
The Rock of Love, that's it.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's called the Rock of Love. Yeah, I got nothing. You got to go on a date with him. That was like the thing. But I think he definitely did give you like a bandana or a backstage pass or something fucking cheap.
But here's the best part about the Flavor of Love, right? Flava Flav had to give up that show because he was on, like, what was it, like
Surreal
Celebrity
Life.
Surreal Life or Celebrity
Surreal
Rehab?
The Surreal Life, I think.
If he was on Celebrity Rehab, I
Or-
don't know. I know for a fact he was on Surreal Life because he was digging out Bridget Nielsen.
That's why he had to quit the show
Is that
because he was in love with her and he was crawling up all over that oak tree.
Yeah. Wait, did the Surreal Life happen before Flavor of Love?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
thought
what
so.
did it. Like he was on there fucking smashing Brigitte Nielsen, and then they were like, "Let's make a fucking Flavor of Love dating show."
Well, she was with some like young Italian guy, and
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
started doing that show, and then she broke up with him, and then he was like, "Yeah, boy, I gotta get up on that, yeah." And then they like, and then that
That's
chick from New
okay.
York spit on that one chick, and then that became a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
God.
crazy.
You know, and it never surfaced a video of a 6'1" Bridget Nielsen duping out a 5'4" Flava Flav. That never once hit the fucking the internet fucking thing as we
Nah.
know
Did
it.
you know
I'm
that
pretty
guy's like a musical savant?
Who? Flavor Flav?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
he can play fucking compositions by ear and shit. Like
The reason I know this is because on the Surreal Life they divided them, and they had to make each group had to make a song, an original song. Alan, we've talked about this. It's
probably, yeah, we probably have.
Flavor Flav was producing, and then he was also drumming because you could play certain. Everyone had to play an instrument of sorts, and Flavor Flav was drumming, but also doing like producing work. On the other side, and this is where I always fuck it up. There's a McKnight that was in New Kids on the Block.
Oh, that's Jordan McKnight. Or-
Jordan
yeah,
McKnight on the
McKnight.
other team, the other squad was producing, and Charo was really bent out of shape by the fact that he had Dave Coulier doing an air trumpet. And but she was so frustrated that she couldn't get her thoughts out in English, so she just kept mocking the air trumpet. She's like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
That
We
and I
have had this discussion, but we get there through Charo and not through Flavor Flav. This is a back door into that conversation.
This is a different 6 degrees of Flava Flav. Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember this exact thing, this competition you're talking about, because the McKnight guy from what was it?
New
Not
Kids.
Backstreet- New Kids on the Block.
It's Jordan.
He's in there.
Knight.
He's in Jordan Knight. He's in there singing, and he's all off key. And they're like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, you want to do it again?" He's like, "Nah, that's what they make the auto tune for. They fix it." He's like, "No, we don't. We're not doing that. Like, you got to be able to like hit it." And he's like, "Man, I never hit a note. Like, I always just fixed it." He's like fully admitting, like, I was a face, man. I was
Yeah.
a face, and there's a cereal box. This is going on that. It doesn't matter what's happening in here. It happens with here. This is where it happens. This is my magic, not this.
My business is lunchboxes, Trapper.
Yeah. You get those 5-star zip up ones, open it up, picture of me, baby, holding one in a cardboard cutout.
You got some leftover bacon wrapped meatloaf. It's going inside me. You understand?
Singing? Mm-mm.
Middle class holes, everyone. Murr, Allen, and Fox, man. So we've hit listen, if you haven't realized, we're old. And on BuzzFeed, there was a great list, 29 of them. We're not going to get to all 29. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of things that people realized or became hyper aware of the fact that they were old. Now, I might breeze through a few of these. Murr, if you remember anyone that really came to mind, some of them were just like, getting getting up and down out of your recliner requires you to go, whoa, and then you use gravity to sit down. Yeah.
I'm there. I got one up. Before we get to the list, I do want to say, I now, in the morning, when I get up, I have to walk down the stairs backwards because my knees hurt so bad trying to go down forwards. Now, I have been running a lot. I'll say that. I'll just preface it with that. But no, I literally have to, I get to the steps, I turn around, I grab the railing, and I lower myself down the stairs backwards.
Nice.
That's where I am in life.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we're going to go number one here. When trendy clothes from your teen years come back in style, seeing 90s fashion come back is quite surreal. And that's actually happening. It's been happening a lot in the last 4 or 5 years.
All the time. That's just that's constant, kind of. Yeah.
It is. I always feel like when they do bring something back and put it on the shelves, they've righted a wrong, or maybe the material's just better or whatever. But I still have all of my shit. It still fits me from high school. And as these trends come back around, I'm like, bring it on, baby. I can dust this fucker off. Yeah, it's got some faded fold lines in it.
That makes it look cooler.
Yeah.
See, I think what they do is when they pick the best of the best. They vet it this time around. They get rid of. There was some shit from the early to mid '90s that they were like, yeah, no way. The color schemes on this, the lines, the parallel, the non-parallels, everything it's funky. We're not doing that. We're going to pick this. So when I see some shit like that that's repurposed or refurbished, I'm like, yeah, fucking yeah, that's me right there. Like, oh, you wore stuff like that? Like, baby, I lived it. While singing Jordan Knight. Auto-tuned.
I remember, and thankfully hopefully this trend will never come back for at least straight men. Remember when they finally perfected the spandex shorts, and they just called them bike shorts? Yeah, you look like you're riding a bike. Well,
Yes.
I remember having a pair of Bugle Boy bike shorts, skin tight, Alan. And you were supposed to wear them with no underwear because, what did you need them for? Everything's being held in place. I was wearing these things in 7th or 8th grade, and I think it's the first time I ever felt shame in my life. Because I remember a teacher going hey, you really shouldn't wear those to school. And I remember why? And I looked down, and I could see the outline of my penis. And I was like, oh. And the rest of the day was just pure shame. Pure shame.
I was wearing them, I think 3rd or 4th grade, and my mother got got some film produced, and she was putting them in a family album, and I looked at it. Maybe 6 months later, I was like, "Yep, burning those, burning all of them." Actually, I'm just gonna grab Dewey's while I'm at it.
That was bbefore me. I would have never worn just spandex shorts anywhere.
Dude, they were new technology. Everybody was freaking out about it. All the shelves at Macy's and JCPenney were just filled with fucking bike shorts for all. Lycra spandex for males and females.
Yeah.
And it's, no, bad news, dude. Didn't think that one through.
No. This is when you realize how far you have to scroll on a computer to find your birthday or birth year on a drop-down menu.
Yeah, that one's getting a little old on me.
Yeah, it kind of sucks now.
You usually see the mid 2005 or 6 on some, because usually it has to be when you're 18, right? So in this case 2005, yeah. So
I tried going back to 79, baby. That one, I just give that one a good old flick, wait about a second and a half, and then just stop. And I'm usually in the mid 70s or early 80s. I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, that one's painful. Also, because I read this list the other day, Wes, and I know there's a question on here oh, you weren't born in the 90s? Bitch, I was born in the 70s.
Yeah. That's just when people say you were born in the 1900s. That's the next one. Yeah. This one I'm a little bit torn about. When kids start calling you Miss, Ma'am, or Sir, I don't know. It's respectful. I get it. I mean, I was called because I was a teacher when I was 24, 25 years old. So obviously, just by sheer, but my profession in general, I had to have that that respect. But I don't know if a kid calls me that. I don't feel old, sir.
Well, I'll do that to even like, obviously like a waitress who's like in their 20s. I'll say, ma'am, you know, if I need something. It's not like it's, yeah, it just, I guess it depends on the setting. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm out on the street and like some guy drops something and he's like my same, like, hey dude, hey man, I don't say, excuse me, sir. You know, so I guess that's it depends on the setting and where you are.
Yeah. Like I get what you're saying. Like I won't say sir probably, but I will say just excuse me. You know what I mean? Like pretty directly. Yeah. 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 It's just situational. I think there are some people I won't fucking call sir.
Hey, scallywag, get over here.
Yeah.
Here's a legitimate question. Considering the era in which we live, let's say we're on a college campus. There's someone with a multi-colored hair, and you need to like maybe like their car is rolling backwards. They left it in neutral, and they're walking away. What do you yell?
Hey,
Probably excuse me again. Or if there's another like descriptor on them, I might use that. But
Like
or
what?
I just call them whatever I think they are, and if their car rolls down the fucking hill, rolls down the fucking hill. Like at that point, look, sorry, bruh. You can get offended about it, or you can go get your fucking Subaru because we know it's a Subaru, right? So, like, I like how I'm the fucking one tonight.
Welcome. It feels good.
Look, some stereotypes exist for a reason. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, just that's probably how I would handle it. But like, I don't usually say like. Because you never know, man. Like even not even in this time, and like even excluding any of like our friends of different genders, like I've been like, hey, sir, and it's been a lady, and I'm like, well, my bad. So I just kind of leave it asexual, right? I'm just like, excuse me. If I do that loud enough, somebody's looking. You know what I mean?
Eventually, they're all looking. It doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly.
That's
It's like
like
we'll figure it out.
that's my problem with car horns. Like anytime like something shitty's happening in an intersection, you're like, "Brrr," everybody goes, huh?
Who's
Because
me?
it doesn't mean anything. I just remember there was again in retrospect it was a guy, beautiful hair though, was turned around and the gas. I was working at the gas station and the gas was overflowing out of his tank and I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, and then finally this guy turns around like, oh, sorry, your gas is overflowing.
excuse me, Mr. Michaels.
You got to mop that up with your bandana, please.
This is a good one. I did a hit from a bong and threw my back out coughing. That's when I knew.
It's an old man and a young man's game. Forgetting the rules a little bit. But I think we're all that is when you start to learn though, is when you do something you've always done and then you injure yourself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know it's a problem. Life is a problem.
It's just life in general. Like,
I said, yeah, you're right. Because I'm assuming this isn't this person's first rodeo in the old bong ripperoo. So yeah, I mean, he's like cough. He's done it before. Cough. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like the handful of times I've ever done that, I've always coughed my fucking guts up, and kind of like dribbled a little bit of fucking dribble down my chin.
University of Maryland, there's some moments that like, yeah, definitely a young man and a young man's game. There's no way. I couldn't imagine if you like teleported me now. Like there was a time travel machine. It's like, what year would you like to visit? 2003, College Park, Maryland. Like I would die. I would end up dying on a floor. That'd be the end of me attempting. I was like superhuman back then. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. That shit was crazy.
She was wild. That's when you could be like, sir or ma'am. You didn't have to say, excuse me. This is an interesting one. I've skipped over a couple because we've talked about a few of like these, not specifically, but certain situations like Googling certain terms, whatever, LOL. But anyway, when famous people advertise on TV, I have no idea who they are, or oftentimes I don't know what products they're selling either.
Yeah, they got to be really well known for that shit to clink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I see people all the time. I think fucking Dunkin' Donuts. They got that broad with the orange hair in there. And I was like, who is that person? And why do they
Look,
have and why do they have a Dunkin' Donuts commercial? There was Ben Affleck and this person I've never
Oh,
seen before in my life. And I was like, who the fuck is that? And then I found out it's this person called Ice Spice, which I've heard of but don't know. So I thought it was just a fucking like a character. Nope, it's a person. It's a light skinned black girl, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe she might be Puerto Rican. Don't know.
Affleck in the Boston voice. It's like, so what's up with the hair? Right. And she's like, oh, it's like a hair. It's orange and it's pumpkin.
technically, that's kind of closer to his real voice than you hear in other projects that he does.
Yeah, I get it. It doesn't make me hate it any less.
This is a good one. I'm a middle-aged man, and a while back I went to a grocery store. The girl working the checkout counter looked like she was in her late teens, and she was wearing a Smashing Pumpkins shirt with a classic design. I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." She replied, "Okay," or "Oh, thanks. It's a band called Smashing Pumpkins, super old. They're from the '90s." I feel like a vein popped in my forehead.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Well, have you had conversations with your brother about this, Wes?
Yeah, see, so he told me on campus at Ohio, some kid was wearing like a Tribe Called Quest t-shirt. And it was like the album cover and I don't know if it was Beats, Rhymes, and Life. I don't know if it's Midnight Marauders. I don't know if it was Low End Theory. But he was like, oh, Tribe. Kid was like, what? He was like, yeah, Tribe Called Quest, the hip hop group on your shirt. Oh, yeah, thanks. I guess I don't know. I just I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck.
Well, apparently it's happened to him 3 times. He's now stopped commenting.
Yeah.
That's just yeah. I don't know. I mean, it goes to show you too, man. Like, is there album art for like modern music?
Yeah.
But it's not recognized. Like, you could show me album art from I get pretty much almost like probably from like the 60s to the late 90s with no band name, no writing on it, and I could probably tell you the artist and the album. Yeah. And now I couldn't tell you any of that shit. The only current artist that I'm like kind of in love with is Dua Lipa. I think she's fantastic. I couldn't tell you an album cover, but that chick is talented.
Is she, or is she good looking?
She is.
No, she is.
Well, both. That helps. The other one helps too. But like the fact that she's doing like modern disco is like doing disco. You know what? It comes back to what Wes was saying about t-shirt or clothing from the 90s. Yeah. Like, she picked the best parts of disco from that era and said, "Okay, let's make an album with all the good stuff." And I'm like, damn, this shit.
So most of the parts of disco. People sleep on disco, is what I'm saying.
Well, there was some really bad disco.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel that. I'm okay with that.
This next one reminds me of it's the guy from the Geico commercial who's now in the one where they have the therapist who tries to teach people to not be so old and not act like your parents.
Guy.
But
is that Geico?
Or maybe it's an insurance company. It's Progressive. Okay.
Progressive, yeah.
But one of the characters from that started out like 2 or 3 years ago, was like he was out at a club with buddies of his. Basically like, once he changed to Progressive, he started acting like his dad. He's like, $10 cover charge? I didn't see that on the website. And he's like, hey, we get around to jalapeno poppers for the boys.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
This reminds me of this. I was driving by a bar on a chilly Friday or Saturday night, and some people were outside smoking. One of them was an attractive college-age girl wearing thin clothes. And my immediate reaction when I saw her was, she should be wearing a jacket. It's cold outside.
Yeah.
You're getting old, bro.
Oh, man. Well, at least he didn't comment on her smoking. I give him that.
There you go. You're right. Hey, you shouldn't be smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's cold out here. Maybe I mean, you know what? And even as an older, like, grizzled veteran of the game, like, that's me like, hey, babe, it's cold out here. Let me get you a jacket. There you go. Now you got your
What a gentleman.
Creepy on college girls. I like it.
Then she's
I'm
like,
just saying, there's no There's no high end for us.
Then she's like at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Hey, let's go out. Let's get some drinks. Like, oh, what? What? What are you talking about? Ugh.
I just threw my back out hitting the bong. There's no way.
I can barely get out of this fucking armrest as it is. Urgh. You have to help me up. This one was interesting. I can't see the prompts on the debit card readers anymore. It's a blur. I had to upgrade my reader so I could see well enough to even tie a fishing line. One time I was trying to read if I can read. This is a typo. I was trying to read if a can of tuna was packed with oil or water.
The
I had to
irony.
go through that. And had to hand it to someone else to make sure if I got the one that I wanted.
You know what the oldest part of that entire thing was?
The irony. Fuck you. I
No,
just got that.
no, not even.
That was a typo.
Kinda. But before that, the oldest part of that whole fucking thing was not any of the things that made them feel old. It was the fact that they called them their readers. Like that's the oldest shit in that entire statement.
Because
Yeah,
that's
my
differentiating between glasses and, well, I don't really need glasses. I just,
Glasses.
situational.
And then you snap at your significant other to give you your readers.
Dude, this is so prophetic that I'm mad about it. Last time I went to the eye doctor, which I had to because they won't like give you contacts unless you've like have an up-to-date prescription.
Yeah.
And hey, fuck you, Alan. My eyes are not, they're right where they were, okay, basically. So I always feel pissed because I gotta like go like, okay, well, guess what? What? It's the same prescription. No shit. Can I get them now? And so I go to the guy, and he was cool. He's about my age, which kind of pisses me off. It makes me comfortable, but it pisses me off. Like this professional, we're peers, essentially. We could go out and have drinks together and probably have a good time. But what?
You're not peers.
We are both professionals.
You're of the same age. He has a peer group of professionals. You're the same generation.
You're being a dick. You're
I'm
being a
just
dick.
saying- I'm just saying.
You're being a dick.
You
You're being a
even
dick.
thought about saying it differently.
But you're still being a dick.
All right, continue.
So
He's got a nice wanker though. He's a good lad.
bottom line is this: like I speak to him like I speak to him like I'm speaking to you guys, and he's cool with it because like we're peers, Alan. And so he's like, when's your birthday? I was like, it's coming up in June. He's like, and you're gonna be 44, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, oof. I'm kind of worried about giving you this prescription again, though. Well, I was like, why is that? He's like, well, on my 44th birthday, which was 2 years ago, like it was like a clock. And as soon as it ticked midnight, I couldn't read close up anymore. And I'm afraid if I give you this prescription, I'm going to fuck you over. And I was like, what do I do? He's like, you got to buy some readers. I'm like, no, it's fine, dude. I swear to God, 2 weeks after my 44th birthday, I'm like, did you know? Trying to read Fun Fact Friday.
Couple that with three beers. Woo wee.
Yeah.
Actually, might make it a little bit better.
It's a
Yeah.
struggle.
Called
Last few before we get to I'm going to ask you guys if you want to get into this conspiracy theory that I read about.
Yeah, I do.
I had to put my readers on to read it. This is when you see your favorite childhood actors and singers in a recent photo and notice how old they've become. For me, it's not so much the people that are my age. It's more so the people that were my age when I was a kid. Okay, that are still alive. People that are now that were like in their 30s and 40s as actors and actresses. Well, I hate to be an asshole about this, but especially women in their 30s and 40s that I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I enjoy that. That's a very attractive woman. I might go home. I might have a boner and not know what to do with it, and then see them in photos now. Be like, oof.
Give me one example. Let's all do one example, both male and female.
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
Elizabeth Shue still looks pretty good.
Does she? I haven't seen her.
Today.
I mean, I don't know about today, but like when she was on The Boys like 2 years ago, she still looked like. I mean, she looked like the
She looks okay.
high executive that you would be like, I need to up my position in this company, and you'd be okay with it.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know.
So you're saying she
Chevy
was-
Chase was another one.
You're
The
so,
guy.
hold on. Let me make sure I'm understanding this. You're saying like They were your age when you were that age, right? Like you were like she was 13 when you were 13. And you
No,
were
no, no.
No,
He's saying like
no.
she was like 40 when he was 13 and looked
Ah,
damn fine back then.
got you.
Yeah.
I was like, because you're not
I think
60
Elizabeth
years
Shue was a
old.
little
That's
little
like,
younger than
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think you're that old, man. Okay. I got it now. We're good. Oh
Yeah.
are you waiting on me? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Well, I said Chevy Chase. That was my male. Just because I saw him in an odd thing the other day, and he looked awful.
I feel like now for me, I'm trying to think of a woman because that's
Jennifer
easier
Love
to
Hewitt
do.
also was another one.
I'm trying to think like
I-
right around my age too. Like,
I think oh shit, her name is Princess Leia.
oh fucking
Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, like Carrie Fisher. I mean, like, come on. When I was a kid, like that was instant boner. That, like, and she was young as shit. She was like 19 when she started Star Wars, and then you
Yeah.
saw her in her bloated fucking drug phase, like when we hit our 30s.
yeah.
Like, oof, oof.
It was a little rough there for a while.
But for me, and this is unfortunate, but like Michael J. Fox, it pains me to see him. But he looks pretty good for his condition.
Well, here's one that's kind of our age. Was Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's 44, and I remember, like 20 years ago, she was fucking.
Well, I was gonna say like fucking Topanga is like your guys' age, right? Like
She's about 5 years younger than me, so she's about Wes's age. But yeah, man, she held on.
She's 42.
She held on, and so did fucking
She still
Winnie
looks-
Cooper. Winnie Cooper still looks fucking great too.
You know she's a genius.
Danica something or other.
Yeah.
Danica
Some McKellar.
McKellar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
She's
and-
got her
and-
like PhD in fucking like space math or whatever, astrophysics.
Leave it right
Space
there.
math.
Space math is absolutely what you should have your PhD in. It shouldn't be called anything else because it's not used for anything else. It's
That's-
fucking space math.
That's absolutely facts.
I'm going to get to this last one. That way we can keep it flowing. But I asked because I didn't get it, and I think I kind of get it, but at the same time I don't get it. And it has to do about getting ID'd to buy alcohol. I've gotten beer and a glass of wine before and wasn't carded, but the other day I bought 3 4-packs of IPAs that had 9% alcohol content and wasn't carded. That hit different.
I think they're saying it's like if you go in and you're just trying to get some like Natty Boh, like you're just drinking. You're just having a But if you're going in, you're trying to get like the moonshine of beer. They're like, we're gonna have to see some ID on that. Wait a minute, but they're asking him for ID.
But he said he wasn't carded for either one of them, and that's where the
Oh.
confusion lies. Is that because
I think he feels like he should be carded when he's buying fucking 9% beers.
I think because I'll just give you an example from my youth. Ice House was like the highest alcohol content beer that was available when I was in high school.
you're old when Ice House was your IPA of beer.
I just had Nice House on my
That should be number 30 on this fucking list. Jesus Christ.
So, just like Milwaukee's Best was like the highest alcohol content for like the cheap beer. And so we weren't buying it because we enjoyed it. We were buying it because it had the biggest bang for your buck. And so what he's saying is, I think, I bought like the moonshine of beers and no one batted an eye.
Right.
And so he's like, they should have fucking carded me on that. I mean, 2 of these will get me fucking intoxicated. No, this is irresponsible. And it's like, no, you're an adult, well over the age. You should totally just know what you're getting yourself into. Have a good day, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right. Fuck it. You look old, man. Fuck it. Deal with it.
Yeah. There's a few others on there, of course.
Get as drunk in whichever manner you please.
Check this out. I remember we went to, it was the times we got to play craps at the Hollywood Casino, Wes, that you fucking changed my life.
How do you know you're getting old? You play craps at a casino in Perryville, Maryland.
No, you walk in with 2 of your friends and they get ID'd and you fucking don't. It was Calvert and somebody else, and I was like, I started to grab for my wallet, and the guy goes, "Nah, you're good, man."
Fucking A.
That's cool.
Fucking A. I want to touch on this real quick before we get to Fun Fact Friday. This came across I was chatting about it with another friends group of mine that doesn't involve you two. Sorry guys, shocker, weird, right? So apparently, when you get an emergency alert system, or I always thought of it as they call it, this article refers to it as FEMA's National Emergency Alert System, but I thought it was the one that came through your television. Go ahead, Mur. What do you
Okay.
got?
It's called the Emergency Alert System. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to have to run EAS tests on the radio. And blah, 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 blah. It's the one like, this is a test of the Emergency Alert System. This is only a test. Anyway, they were recently testing a very similar system over all mobile phone platforms in America. So
Yes.
that what happened in Hawaii doesn't happen to the rest of us again.
I saw that. I saw that come through my phone. Now, conspiracy theorists believe that this is somehow linked to vaccinated individuals, and it's going to do what? Going to excite the robotic parasites that are now sitting within your veins and organs, and regenerative, your sexual organs, and
Yes.
just wreak havoc and blow everything up.
Well, I mean, because it's designed for 5G. So if you have a 5G phone and you have the 5G compatible vaccination, then you will become a zombie robot for the next apocalypse. That's pretty simple. I don't know why you're not following.
Yeah. It's yeah.
That's pretty straightforward. You're right. I don't know why I had to.
Right.
Why I thought this was any deeper than a wading pool. My apologies.
The vaccine, the spike protein that they injected us all with several times now, has now bonded itself to every molecular cell in your body. And so when it's time to activate you for warfare, they just have to send the message. I don't know, see what the problem is. I mean, it's like being drafted in World War II. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's against your will, but hey, you had a choice.
Yeah.
What
I'm feeling zombie-ish by the hour, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's taken a couple days, which seems unusual to me, but who am I to judge?
Yeah. Rumor has it when that thing went off, Alan was grilling and took a couple fiery hot sausages that he was in the back of that little griddle top that weren't done, and he woke up just like half eating them, half sucking them too.
I was actually holding a magnet when it went off, and it rose above my head like Link in the fucking like Winds of Fire, whatever the fuck game that was. Like, oh, yeah, no problem.
All of our silverware just attached to it. Imagine. It was fucking crazy. I didn't know what to do.
There was a friend of a friend of ours, his wife, her friend who lives in California, for a short while turned her phone off just in case. And the weird thing is she's unvaccinated as well.
Wait, how's it affect the unvaccinated?
It's not supposed to, according to theory, but once you get deep in the trenches, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Can I be serious, or do we just want to keep fucking with these people?
Yeah, please do.
I mean,
are you like, when you say, can we be serious? I
Please
think
do
you're going to
whatever
fuck
one
around
you
with us more.
Please do whichever one you want and let us figure it out.
okay. Bottom line is this.
When you say, can we get serious? I get more suspicious.
Yeah. That's a good lie.
Good. That's
Yeah.
what you should. Read between the lines, boys. But look, we live in modern times. Everybody's got these fucking phones in their pockets. And I get it. We're all fucking suspicious of everyone. God damn it. Donald Trump might be the fucking Speaker of the House because the most retarded person in Congress fucking pulled off some fucking game of cards shell game and beat the world, and it's amazing, and I give him fucking high fives for that. I don't know what happened, but he ousted a Speaker of the House for the first time in the history of the United States of America. I get why people are a little bit on edge and a little bit suspicious of shit going on. But at the end of the day, if there's a fucking meteor coming from the Earth, and you need to know to go into fucking, like, the hollow earth and find that hole in the ground, it might be nice for everybody to get alerted at the same goddamn time. And guess what? We have the ability to pull that technology off in our pockets at all times. This is the same goddamn thing that interrupts your song mid-fucking chorus that pisses you off. It just so happens to be in your pocket now. And they're like, hey, we need to tell you some really pertinent information. Here's an alert. That's it. There ain't nothing more to it, nothing less about it. It's a good thing. And I don't like the government. And I don't like to know where my phone is. But I got it. And unless I want to live like a hermit, then this is the fucking game we play. Thank you.
They know either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very difficult. This is in my portfolio of products to sell, and yeah, it's really hard sometimes reading some of this stuff with like intricate knowledge of how the systems work, and I'm just like, we're so fucking dumb. Just as a population, we are fucking dumb. It's so bad. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're so fucking dumb. I mean, this is like an 11 on a 1 to 10.
Yeah.
The national alert system is controlling the vaccine in us. What is it? What are we gonna? Is this Terminator? Is this?
I just listen. I'm cool with people being suspicious of the government. That's the United States of America's fucking mo. Always be suspicious of whomever is in charge. A-okay with that. But man, when we like develop something like useful, like just let's just call a spade and be like, cool deal, guys, got it.
Appreciate the asteroid warning system. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's good for us.
But nobody complained when there was an Amber Alert that fucking came. Like, actually, everybody complains. Like, I don't care about this girl. I don't live in Glen Burnie. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But now it's like,
If you see a silver Toyota Corolla, only about 100 a fucking day, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm
The
not
only thing I
actually
care less
making fun of
about-
it.
The only thing I care less about than Amber Alerts are silver alerts, which is like old people. Just like, oh, I don't. Good life.
you know what? Honestly, when I hear a Silver Alert, are you guys aware of the song that they were a one-hit wonder, Fastball the Way?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
To me, when I hear a Silver Alert, I'm like, good for them. They're living their best life.
Weren't they on like a dozen movies? Wasn't that song on a dozen movie soundtracks?
Oh, I'm sure it was. I mean,
Probably,
dude, when we get done with this show, maybe we should end the show with that fucking rolling out of here. But like that song, it's a great fucking song. I get like teary eyed when I hear that song because I'm like, these motherfuckers decided their fate. Good for them. And so anytime I hear like if I have Alzheimer's or something, I can guarantee you, if I got 30 seconds in a day where I realize like what the fuck's going on, see you later, boys. Like whatever decision I made in those 30 seconds is exactly what I wanted to do. Don't worry about me.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm going to listen to Fastball the Way.
I probably will, and I'll get fucking entranced in it and be like, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, the cliff? What about the cliff?
You're going
Who's Cliff? Why am I thinking about Cliff?
Clavin? I do work for the post office.
You're gonna,
Jeopardy. When's Jeopardy come on? Is it still at 7 o'clock, or is that Wheel of Fortune? I don't know. I'm just going to have another IPA, another Ice House.
Is it Trebek or Blossom? Who the hell's fucking hosting? All right. Let's expand our craniums in a way that doesn't involve the emergency alert system and the vaccine that's pumping through our veins and our organs and our brains.
Yes.
Let's just do it by straight old analog style rip away calendar facts.
All right, I don't have my readers, but we're going to get to 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Brought to you, of course, by our brand new friend, the Cuckster. Make sure you check out Cuckster for Life on Instagram.
Oh, by the way, a conscientious objector, by that I mean my girlfriend Sarah, gave a look at the Cuckster, came through her blotter because she does follow the middle class holes, and she said, "I saw the Cuckster. I didn't like it. I don't like what you guys are doing. I get it, but it's disgusting." I was like, "Well, you're not our target audience, so appreciate it."
We're not selling it to you, so beat it.
And she's right on all points except for the fuck off point. And at that point, we need to just be like, hey, listen, sweetheart.
Tell your friends because they might like it.
I would at least explain to her that, at least you and I, Wes, Alan, you weren't here for a lot of the Cuckster recordings. There were several occasions where Wes and I kind of looked at each other like, how old are we? What are we doing? What is this?
I was here for one of them, and I had that thought. I was
Yeah.
like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I felt like I was getting old when my buddy dressed up and did his facial hair in the way of Hulk Hogan and was talking about it in a cucking manner. We were doing it take after take after take, and the more we did it, the more we got drunk, and the less sense that it made. And that's when I realized, man,
I'm getting old. Cuckolding's less funny now.
But man, it's as far as inside baseball is concerned, like it is funny. It's funny. It's disturbing, but it's funny, and it's Cuckster, the number 4, live on Instagram. Check it out. Time for your mental floss. Amazing facts. Did you know calciform is used, usually in botany, to describe something shaped like a shoe, describing something shaped like a pebble? In that case, the word would be calciform. I read that correctly, and I am confused as well. So calciform is used to describe something shaped like a shoe, describing something shaped like a pebble. In that case, the word is calciform. So if something, I guess, is shaped like a pebble, but a pebble that looks like a shoe, it is now calciform.
And in biology, I'm assuming that's like a calcium buildup. I'm not a doctor or physician, but that's my guess.
That's the best guess I have. There's a word out there. I'm sure Alan is looking up now.
How do you spell that?
It is spelled CALCEIFORM.
I was missing one fucking.
The best thing, again, total shot in the dark. Not a physician. Shocker. I do know how to do the shocker to people who aren't physicians, but like a bone spur, right? That's a caloric buildup.
That is technically pebble-ish in makeup, but like to me though, it's all bullshit because like how is something in nature looking like something not in nature that is made of nature? Like
That's not true. Italy looks like a boot.
That's a good point.
Is Italy a calciform?
I think no, Sicily is.
You're right. Looks like a shoe that looks like a pebble.
It looks like a boot. It looks like a soccer ball. It looks like a fucking stupid fun fact. Alan, you got anything?
Come on.
There's nothing even fucking good from that, really.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, they're not all good. I've always said that, and I'll always stand by that.
Yeah,
So
right.
did you know? In the 19th century, several inventors came up with, quote, safety coffins, which were equipped with bells, flags, and air tubes, and designed to help people avoid being buried alive. Now, I was aware of this.
Yeah.
But the fuck were, like, coroners doing back in the day? Like, yep, he's dead. Oh, I missed something. Like, I mean, how are you not in the coffin next to? Like, what should the penalty be for claiming someone dead and they're not?
I was about to ask what was the. I get it. Okay, 19th century. So we're talking about the 1800s. What would be the purpose of these types of things? And I guess you spelled it out. People who were pronounced dead, who weren't actually dead, then sprung out of being not dead, but also in a casket, and then needed a lifeline, right?
Yeah, because like I don't remember. There's like a common phrase apparently, but like they were digging up, like if they had to move a cemetery, they were finding like claw marks, like scratch marks inside coffins.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
oh, this cat wasn't dead when we buried him. Ooh. Like maybe they had the crab cake instead of the bacon wrapped meatloaf, and they had an allergic reaction.
Yeah,
and
maybe they had the soup instead of the special. Yeah.
so they just passed out like really hard. Their heart rate dropped real low. They all thought they were pale. They thought they were dead. They buried them because they had to get them in the ground quick back in the day. And then they were like, oh, where am I?
Maybe they hung themselves when they were jerking off.
That's the phrase "Saved by the Bell" comes from this, by the way, because they would put a string inside the casket that led up to the gravestone, and if you were still alive, ding 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 ding, you would ring the bell and they would dig you up.
Jesus. So what were you asking? What should be the penalty if you incorrectly pronounce one of these people dead? And
and then put them in
bury
the
'em?
ground. Yeah.
Oof. Maybe that's why they came up with embalming, because they don't want to run the risk. You just kill them anyway.
Well, I'm fairly sure this was pre-embalming because once you do that to fucking even a live corpse, well, a live body, it's a corpse now.
Yeah. 100%.
Right,
Yeah.
that's my point. You kill them anyway.
Yeah.
You leave the bell obsolete.
Well,
Yeah.
embalming, I know this came from the Civil War because it took them days to get bodies back, like whether they were killed in the North or the South, and so like and that's why we still do that to this day. It was so financially advantageous to the what do you call those guys? The
Morticians.
the morticians to like embalm a body that we've just never stopped since 1865.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only reason we still do that shit. So the bodies wouldn't spoil on the way back on the trains.
Yeah, man.
But can you-
The Civil War had it's like the single greatest period in American history for inventions.
Yeah. And you know what? Right in the middle of the Civil War, guess what else was invented?
Cornmeal?
A1 steak sauce.
Damn.
Goddamn right.
Did
That's
that-
fucking. They're shooting. There's musket balls flying by the window, but goddamn it, I need to use this steak up a little bit. What am I gonna do? Let me get my thinking cap on.
You know for a fact that was a ground beef patty, bro. It wasn't no fucking New York strips coming through.
I gotta get this embalmed meat tasting flavorful. How do I do
This is
that?
Human meat. Yeah.
This is Craig. This is Craig.
Did you know? From 1983 to 1989, Charlton Heston, who was born on this day 100 years ago, held the United States' highest nuclear weapons security clearance, known as Q clearance, for the Department of Energy in order to narrate top secret educational films for the government.
I mean, I didn't know that. No.
So I'm familiar with a few of these things. Q clearance with my job. I understand that that's like the highest
Yeah.
level that you can get. Now, certain. You said this was Department of Energy, or does
Was
it,
it,
does
our,
it
was,
say-
it our, was it our propaganda department? We had one of those back in the day.
Yeah.
We had one of those during war times.
It's
Yes,
honorary.
Department of Energy.
Right, and then some of these like the departments they have some of these necessarily aren't parallel. The Q clearance seems to be kind of the creme de la creme of all of them. But no, I did not know that from 1983, the last year the Orioles won the World Series, until 1999, that Chuck Heston held a Q
89.
clearance in order to 89. Was it 89? So was it 89? Is that what you said?
It was
Okay.
89. Because basically Charlton Heston was like, okay, when you get to the room, you're both going to have to turn the key to the left simultaneously.
That's kind of
You-
awesome, actually.
The intro was like, "Hi, I'm Chuck Heston."
Hi,
And,
I'm
uh,
Charlton
and-
Heston. You might know me from such films as Ben-Hur and Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Well, if we should ever get to the point where the Planet of the Apes is a possibility, you might have to make a decision. A decision you don't want to make, but a decision that you have been mandated to make. A decision you swore an oath to make.
Jesus.
I'm going to explain that oath to you in detail.
Let's just hope they didn't do away with the NRA by that point. And I tell you what, there's a young man who's singing R&B songs in a funky bunch. I hope he takes over my roles in the late 2000s.
I would just hope that step one is lift the little plastic cover thingy from the red button. You know what I mean? Like something very trivial. Something very trivial.
Sadly, now I'm thinking of Mark Wahlberg doing the same videos. Like, all right, listen, you're gonna have to blow some stuff up. So
Listen,
what you
dog.
gotta do, you gotta go into the room, right? And there's gonna
Holy
be
cow,
a couple of
walking.
keyholes. You gotta both put the keys in the holes at the same time, and within 3 seconds, you're gonna have to turn them. I mean, that's how it works.
And if you're confused, do a countdown. Do a 3, 2, 1. Go 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but don't do it on one. Do it on 3, 2, 1. Make a pact. Make a pact. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. You can go through. You can go on one, or you can go and go. It's
Do
your
it on-
choice.
Do it on a beat. Do a turn.
Christ.
Go.
Got your good vibration. Then Chuck Heston comes out of the closet and shoots him.
As he should. Chuck Heston, he rings the bell from the grave. He's like, I ain't done yet. I got more business to take care of.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Ah, shit.
That was a journey.
Thank you.
God, I feel like we ate mushrooms without eating mushrooms just now.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Did you know obituary writers have their own awards? They're called the Grimmies.
It's cheap. But
I didn't, but that's clever. You
I
say
wonder
it's cheap?
What's the criteria? Like,
I have to assume it's for like a celebrity, and they have a lot of these pre-written. Like, okay, like Betty White probably had an obituary written for like a decade. The Queen of England, I know she had one because they released it prematurely, like I don't know, months before she died. And yeah, so they've got these things pre-written, and so they probably work in like one of the departments at a news station. And if somebody's like, "Damn, man, yeah, you got me on that one. Shit, nice job, that was good."
Maybe they have to like slide in a certain amount of words or key phrases, or say a certain amount of things a certain amount of times. You know what I'm saying? It's like an inside joke amongst these obituary writers. Like, hey, the Queen. Yeah, emphasis on obituary, but then a few other things. Yada yada.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that. Well done.
there's an obituary con, like a convention of obituary writers. Yeah.
but what
Omaha, Nebraska, or where are we at here?
I mean, it was so
What are you talking
they haven't updated it since 2019. Maybe COVID had an impact.
Maybe it's like the World Cup. We're due. It's
I
coming
can
up
tell
this
you
year.
that their keynote speaker was of Daily Show fame Mo Rocca, and he was discussing his new podcast called Mo Bituaries with Mo Rocca. So, check that out on your local podcasting.
Not many people know who Mo Rocca is, but
Nobody, I guarantee, very few people listening to this right now.
he's a very Jewish man with very black rim glasses, and he's got a very hard lisp, and he's very funny. In a very
Daily
dry
Show.
way.
Daily Show is what I remember him from. But I guess my point is, if we want to backtrack a little bit, Alan, why don't you go ahead and star that obituary con? See if we can get some press credentials, and we can infiltrate. We can get in. Look, the middle class holes is just dying to get somewhere with a handheld camera. You like
I
that?
know you're old. Yeah, that's because you made that joke.
Yeah, and we could get a handheld camera, a lapel, or a
Dude,
Ladai mic.
We can break the fourth wall here. We could probably do that now. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot to be a fucking journalist these days. So like, I'm sure if we found something that we were truly interested in and it wasn't that high profile, we could be like, listen, we're the middle class holes. We need fucking press credentials, and we could get in somewhere. We should try.
All right. Well, if you can find a parallel to, I mean, Obituary Con seemed to tickle my fancy. I was going to be like, hey, do you guys know about these old bells that people used to ring when they were dead, but they weren't dead?
Do you
want to
crawl
out of the grave?
Do you want to go maybe troll fucking like influencers? Or maybe we might have missed it. Oh, we missed it. It was last fucking weekend. Fucking sorry. I apologize.
What was it? No.
It's called VidCon. It's like where all the TikTokers go to a convention and TikTok, I guess, together. I don't understand the inner workings of it. I just know that there's a bunch of fucking famous TikTokers that we probably have seen. They were in Baltimore last weekend.
Damn.
Yeah, we fucked up. They were at the convention center.
Do they all like dance against each other? Like some kind of like dance battle?
Yeah, that's like my assumption is there's like three things going on. There's like dance battles, there's OnlyFans bitches making like the TikTok of like safe content before they then take it to like the Inner Harbor Renaissance for fucking foot stuff, and then like fucking like fuck comedians, like half-ass stand-up comedians. That's it. There's three. That's the three demographics.
Right.
I feel like I'm more interested in Renaissance foot stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's reasonable.
Yeah. You think we, and by we I mean any combination of the three of us, could have gone in there and had come off as legitimate?
Yeah.
Hey, we're the middle class holes.
We have a
have
fucking
just a
logo with
shade.
our faces. It's cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah. We paid a legitimate graphic designer to put this up, and we created a QR code. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're legit, man.
We made a QR code.
And then we could just go do dances and stuff.
That's our credential.
Yeah. Oh, that's when your boy comes in, the dancing. I could
Yeah.
still kind of hop over my leg when I hold it out.
There you
with
go.
the other leg.
Or
Yeah.
you know what we do? We
Speaking of getting old,
Bullshit. Bullshit.
we
I'll
go and do
challenge
all
you.
the old dances from like when TikTok first came out over here.
I'm going to challenge you to a leg jump rope next time we're together.
Can
Gotcha.
you do it, Mer?
Yeah, that's how I used to fucking trick people into fucking breaking their face. I'd wait till somebody was nice and drunk and be like, "Yeah, can you do this?" And I'd jump rope my leg, and I'd be like, "They'd try it," and they would fucking just
Yeah, of
fucking
course.
eat shit every time.
That's fair. I believe that.
that's when me and Alan break out the Kid and Play.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I hit you with a very aggressive worm on the ground. And fucking
Scotty Too Hottie.
the whole party erupts.
That's right. Hey, who are these guys? I think they're called the Middle Wiener Holes or something. I don't know.
Facts.
Such a better name. All right. Now, this last one, I'm going to read in the style of a 1940s newsman, and it's very relevant to today. And finally, did you know the Pittsburgh Pirates, which spelled their name Pittsburgh without an H in the early part of the 20th century, and the Boston Americans faced off in the inaugural World Series, which kicked off on October 1st, 1903. Boston came out on top as the best of 9 format. Cy Young, one of the sport's most prolific pitchers, wasn't just working the mound for Beantown. He also worked the ticket booth at the Huntington Avenue baseball grounds before the game started.
Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious.
Hey, our fucking award-winning pitcher. Get out there in the ticket booth. Sell some tickets, buddy.
Dude,
Oh my God.
they did wild shit back then, man. Like
Yeah.
I told
Like
I
best of
told-
9.
I told you this book that I'm fucking taking like 9 months to read about the fucking Cleveland Indians in like 1944, maybe. Is that what it was? The first
When they won the World Series?
first integrated team to win a World Series, right? Is that accurate?
Oh
Maybe.
my God. Have you
Well,
guys watched?
48 is when they
Or
won.
was it 48? I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
remember the year. But they won. They won it.
Like
at
Larry Doby in that team?
Yes, yeah, that's the
Okay.
team. And fucking yeah, they like that's exactly fucking how shit was going back then. They were like working at sawmills and then fucking going and hurling fucking like 9 innings and then fucking going to a jazz club and smoking cigarettes and then fucking doing it again. And then like in the summer times they were barnstorming. They were throwing like fucking 3 innings in one game, 3 innings in a second game, 3 innings in a third game, and then fucking prostitutes and then doing it again at 8 a.m. Like it's the wildest shit I've ever read.
Have you
Whole time
guys
it's
watched?
crazy.
Have you guys watched the Shane Gillis stand-up special on Netflix that came
Yeah,
out?
it's fantastic.
Dude, like he's talking about like, yeah, back when white people talked like this,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, one black man came along.
He's up next, Jackie Robinson, a young colored boy. Knock.
And-
oh,
and
there.
Yeah, he's facing Curly McCurlinston. He's 46 years old and he runs a 5.240. Maybe the best athlete in the world. And here's the pitch. Oh, okay. All right. Then here we are.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's like that was the day that voice ended.
Oh, shit. Here we are.
It's
And what's
fucking great.
You say it was the Boston what now? Because I think that team turned into the
The Americans.
Yeah,
Boston
Boston
Americans?
Americans.
Then they were the Bean Eaters, and then became the Red Sox.
Yes.
And then Boston also got a National League team, the Braves, which moved to Milwaukee, which then moved to Atlanta.
Milwaukee.
Weren't we a St. Louis team at some point?
So the Orioles today, that you know now, the 101 win, AL East winning, and best team in the American League, Baltimore Orioles were the St. Louis Browns. Prior to that, Baltimore Orioles were there in the American League. So it was weird because the American League and the National League were actually two different. It was kind of like the AFL, NFL back in the day. There was a Baltimore Orioles team that moved to New York that became the New York Highlanders, then became the New York Yankees, which a lot of people don't realize. The New York Yankees were originally the Baltimore Orioles.
No shit. I did
short-
not.
short period.
I did not know that. And that, well, let's just wrap it there. Well, that's your Fun Fact Friday. But yeah, I don't like to wear a lot of brightly colored things. But today I'm wearing the O's fucking shirt, baby.
You got your O's. I got my Jackie Treehorn Productions. Things are good. Things are lovely. How's the smut business going, Jackie? And by the way, man, that's ridiculous. Tampa hosted 2 fucking wild card games against, and mind you, in a couple of years they're trying to build another stadium not too terribly far south of where they're at the Trop, and they're saying, no, it'll be better, more amenities, less seats, because they need that. They need less seats but they averaged 19,000 fucking for an ALD, 19,000 people for an ALDS, a playoff game for a team who won, what was it, 99 games, 98
99.
games?
Yep.
And Alan, you were saying if they had won and they played the Orioles, that you and Kelly were actually debating taking flights down to Tampa because it would be cheaper.
Yeah, I mean it'd be super cheap. Yep.
Yeah, and it would probably be, I'm not going to be too audacious here, but it would probably be like a third Orioles fans and 2/3 quote unquote Tampa fans.
I don't know. I think it'd be more 50-50.
Okay. And I wouldn't argue with you on that point, but I would say at least a third of them would be definitely Orioles fans. Look, man, it's just teams means different things to like different towns, and like that's what I do love about that fucking docu series that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have, the fucking Welcome to Wrexham. Right. It just shows you how much like a team can really build up a town, and like when the Ravens are doing well, I don't see Baltimore doing better or worse. But man, when the Orioles are doing well, I can see that city doing better or worse. Just the tone of the town. And right now, the tone of the town is positive. And
well, check it out, because this, if you're listening to this, we record on Thursday nights. We produce on Friday morning. Saturday, it's game 1 of the ALDS. First pitch, 1:00. Just across the way at M&T Bank, 7 p.m. They're supposed to. Now, I don't know how the fuck they're going to do this logistically. This makes no sense to me because I can tell you the time frame. Billy Joel and was it Stevie Nicks are supposed to play starting at 7 p.m. at M&T Bank. There's no way you can clear enough people out in terms of parking, because I've experienced Billy Joel both at M&T and Camden Yards. Those motherfuckers show up 4 or 5 hours in advance to tailgate and get it in, and then down at Power Plant, probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 blocks due east of Camden Yards, there's a taco festival going on. Now you may go, taco festival, but they get fucking vendors from as south as Raleigh, North Carolina, and north of New York, to come to this thing. So come on down to Baltimore. It's going to be popping.
If you don't have shit to do, also, isn't it Fells Point Fun Festival?
Mm-hmm.
Really searching for its Fells Point Fun Festival.
Absolutely.
It's also the fucking like Latin festival at Patterson Park, both days, and Sunday. Like the city's gonna be off the fucking hook. So if you ain't got shit to do, come on down. There's food. Dude. There's professional sports. There's some crime.
Billy Joel.
Dude, I'm so mad. Like I didn't even know about the Billy Joel concert. Like that doesn't even and I don't give a fuck. Anybody under the age of 30 can go kiss my fucking hairy old balls. Like a Billy Joel concert, that's on my bucket list, and that bucket's almost full, man. Like I don't know how many more times this guy can go out. Like he didn't even need to advertise that. I didn't even know it was happening.
I'm a little fucking happy that I don't get a night game out of it, but
yeah.
But like, all right,
are you going?
Yeah. Come on.
Game 1? So I'm saying we have tickets to game 2.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, we're a game 1.
All right.
Got
Well,
to.
I just want to put this out there publicly. If like any of you guys have like a spare, like for any of the upcoming games, you just let.
Calvert does. So when are you leaving?
I'm going to we're going to Disney Sunday, and then we're coming back Thursday.
I was going to say Calvert has tickets Sunday.
For Sunday.
If you want to come down Saturday, I'll take you.
Yeah, I can't. I might as well
All
go
right.
ahead and file divorce papers. I mean,
So when you get back, then
yes,
hit me
so
up.
essentially, the next series, because we're winning this one, the next series, I'm 100% in. No matter
Gotcha.
when, what time, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be at that goddamn stadium.
We got game 1 for that one too.
If
Singing-
you guys got tickets for, nah,
We
I
have,
can
we
buy
have
all
two
of
in
it.
games 2 and 6. All right. Look, we're already
Before you go.
Before you go tonight, we got a 2 for 1. You guys can talk about either one that you want. This involves a couple things that we've enjoyed talking about in the past. We're merging worlds, airlines and poop, and then coming up from the 6 to 12 is
And my
pepper
penis.
spray. Not penis. No, actually, it's pepper spray. Sorry, close. Close second is your penis. Coming in first is pepper spray. So the headline reads: Passenger on Delta Airlines. The flight was stopped by diarrhea and said it, quote, dribbled down the aisle. So I didn't really read too much of it. Apparently, this guy just pooped himself, had a medical issue, ran down its pant leg and just kept down. Someone was like, "Ooh, look, they serving pudding at Midway," and it wasn't. All right. The next one reads, airline passenger reportedly mistakes her pepper spray for hand lotion, forces emergency landing.
I don't know which one's. I think the pepper spray's worse than the poop.
Me too.
Yeah, somehow it kind of is. Cause like you can deal with some stink, like kind of after you get used to it and adjusted, and like you're like, oh well, we're just in some stink here. But
Bro,
like
Here's
you're
okay.
really adjusting to pepper spray.
Hold that thought, because it says someone who was commenting on the fiasco wrote, "My partner was on the flight. It was pretty bad. It dribbled down the aisle. Smelled horrible. A vanilla scented disinfectant was used, only to make it smell like, quote, vanilla shit."
Yeah, that's like anywhere that has like the apple cinnamon fucking like bathroom air freshener, and you take a raw dump in that bitch. Oh, it smells awful. Like that's just awful. It's an awful combination.
Right. If you have like a cinnamon, anything, spray, candle, beads that you can crack off, it just smells like cinnamon shit.
I would just prefer you fucking deal with it. I get it. Like I would honestly, I would just prefer to use fucking like raw bleach. Just like, because at least like bleach can cut through shit, like literally and figuratively, and bleach gives off that aroma of it's clean now. Like whether it's psychosomatic or whatever, like bleach just says like this is clean. But man, just covering it up, that's worse. Like the worst for me is like at work, they have like this lavender scented fucking spray. I hate lavender
Yeah.
probably more than I hate shit. So
So,
like, yeah.
I want to point something out to you guys. This is really interesting. So check this out. Okay, so this here, and mind you, yeah, I got a lot of shit here. This is the flight pattern, and it was supposed to go from Atlanta to Barcelona. Okay, and this is when around here is when they realized the shit was taking place, and they circled back. What my interpretation of this is that they get close to Richmond, and they're like, "Hey, we could make an emergency landing in Richmond and clean this up and get on our way." Air traffic control at Richmond was like, "Don't bring that here. Better take your ass back to Atlanta." None of that shit in Richmond.
Damn.
Dude. Yeah, because that's literally like, we can land and clean this up in 30 seconds. Fuck you. You're cleaning it up in another 30 minutes.
Or like kick you off. We're cleaning it up, and you, sir, or I think let's be honest. It's a guy.
It's a guy.
It's a guy.
Come on. This guy was at the Baltimore Taco Fest. Come on.
You, sir, can get off at Richmond, and you figure out your situation. We're all going to Barcelona.
But you know what though? Like that's the thing though. Like that's why I was saying before that like the shit is worse than the pepper spray because like or is better than the pepper spray because I can have sympathy for a guy who's like, oh, my insides don't feel right, and he shits himself. That sucks. I'm sorry, and I don't want to be on a plane filled with diarrhea. Nobody does. But the empathy level that I feel for that guy, like he didn't want to cause this, yada yada yada. The woman who mistakens pepper spray for hand sanitizer. There are several chromosome deficiencies happening for this like non-organic event to occur. That's what makes that one worse than the shit. Because like if that guy was like, oh man, my guts, they hurt, and then just shit goes everywhere, I'm like, man, ooh, I don't like this, but that sucks for you and me and everyone on this plane. When that chick does it, I'm gonna fucking berate her. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Do you have brain cells? Did you look at the container? Why is that even on the plane? That's not even allowed.
And I was going to say, I'm going to berate the security. How did it get in? How did that make its way through the security line?
Yeah. Really makes me think the TSA is going to prevent another 9/11. Motherfuckers. Fucking. But yeah, no, you're right. As three guys who have all shit themselves, we can sympathize with the guy who shit himself. There's sometimes no controlling that. At no point in time have we ever voluntarily shit ourselves. At least I don't think. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. The broad who didn't look in her purse to make sure that she put the cucumber melon fucking Bath and Body Works on her hands, and not the fucking pepper spray. Yeah, that you throw that bitch out the moving plane. Like, it's fine.
Don't worry, we do this all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, and to think about that, you say the cucumber melon Bath and Body Works. She pulled that out and was like, "Oh, yeah, Bath and Body Works now sells a black label with a red tip and an emergency pull cord thing. That makes sense." Let me get that in there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like most travel lotions are like what I would presume is like some sort of travel lotion is in some sort of like soft, soft-ish container that you could squeeze to get the lotion out of it. I ain't never seen a fucking pepper spray in a fucking tube, like a toothpaste tube. Like they're very different things. You know what I mean? Do you typically squirt your lotion with your thumb like a fucking projectile, or do you just into your hand like a fucking normal person? Like, so many things went wrong, like Mur said.
Yeah, and they were supposed to. I'm trying to think. They it was from Miami to New York. They emergency landed in Jacksonville, and an hour later they cleaned everything up and then flew to LaGuardia. So it was a little bit better. It's not convenient, but it's a little bit better than the Poop Man from Atlanta to Barcelona and then a complete circle around back to Atlanta to clean up emergency poop.
But if you put the two together, I'd say they caught the one faster than the other.
That's true.
Barcelona's a little bit further hike.
Yeah, and listen, you're not. People from Miami, like, you're not making like a convenient, just like, hey, want to check out Barcelona for a hot minute. That's a week. That's a week, maybe 10 days, maybe 2 weeks.
And that's like a 15-hour flight.
A little bit less than that, but you're in the right. Like it's probably 9 to 10, maybe 11. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And somewhere around North Carolina, this guy was like, "Oh, excuse me, pooped them."
Oh shit!
Ridiculous.
I saw this on the movie Airplane. They made a joke about it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out.
Talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in it.
That's disgusting. All right, Alan, tell all the. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that we talked about tonight. Not a whole lot. Not much. Tell
all the plane poopers.
Yeah, tell all the people who are debating pooping their pants in a plane because they can't poop in a small little Cessna shitter where you can find the middle class holes.
You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the full middle class holes on TikTok and Facebook and YouTubes and fucking Telegram and Truth Social and all your other fucking good ones. And of course, for your listening pleasures, check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. I actually have something real quick because it just popped up on my phone. Well, before we leave,
Was it emergency broadcast system?
no, it was not. Unfortunately, the zombie. I need another dose of the zombie juice, honestly. But fucking, yeah. So this is what we're so good at these. I feel like we should end on these and anytime we have the opportunity. Dick Butkus passed away. The Bears just announced at 80 years old. Dick Butkus, Football Hall of Famer. The Bears are on probably losing to the Commanders right now because why wouldn't they?
I don't know. They weren't when I came downstairs to record this fucking episode, which
Oh,
really,
they are not. Look at that.
which is really fucking up my DraftKings fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's understandable because why would you pick the Bears?
I was supposed
Why
to pick him
why
for
would
a
anyone
pick
pick
him
the
lead.
By the way, before I came down here, somebody scored a touchdown, and Maria was in the living room, and I was like, "Hey, who scored?" And she turns around and looks at the TV, and she goes, "I think it was the Lions," because the Bears logo on the screen is like a bear, just like stare. So to her credit, it does look kind of like a lion, but it just reminded me of that Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where like he's like, "Who's winning?" He's like, "It's tied, nothing. Oh yeah, who's winning? The Bears. It's the Cubs playing.
Cubs
Anyway,
playing the Braves. Actually, this is okay. So I was watching it was like an NFL Films thing that was hosted by Steve Sable. Remember that guy?
oh yeah,
God rest his soul. He died young. I think he died like 58, 56. But someone, I don't know if it was After Hours because that thing was usually like PG rated, but it was said, why was Dick Butkus so angry? And someone said, "Do you realize that guy's name was Dick Butt Kiss?" No wonder that guy was so pissed off all the time.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's accurate. I'd be fucking furious.
I have a handful of social media comments. You guys let me know. I've actually forgot to do this last week. And lo and behold, shocker, I got too inebriated to actually remember reading these fucking things, and I just blew right through it and was like, "Hey, Alan, tell all the kids where you can find us." And I was like, "All right, good night, everybody. I'm back at Goldwait." And that's because the National Teleservice thing came through, and I was that's what I do because I'm vaccinated. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Bobcat Goldwait." But I was going to split these up. Do you want me to read them all, or do you just want me to read like 3/4 of them? We'll save some for next week.
let's do 3 and we'll do next week.
3/4, not 3.
How many do you
3/4.
have?
11.
Oh, let's
do 4.
let's not do all of them.
Okay, check it out. Okay, turd dodging, YouTube. This guy Owen. That's where Murr says like you step on a turd when you're trying to dodge a turd. And I spelled it TURD. Owen 2551 says it's spelled turd TURD.
It is, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
What'd
fuck you,
How'd you
Owen.
spell it? TE?
TERD. Fuck you. All right, you're a turd. TERD. All right. Trash Burrito, JJ Lamfork Trip writes, that dorm room was disgusting. That's a friend of ours, Murr. Anyway, Blickety Blow writes, that dorm room was awful, but it had a lot of fun Halo games played in there.
Really? I don't remember the Halo games.
What do you remember?
I just remember.
Tummy sticks?
I just, I just remember a lot of pulled back muscles.
Zombie Mode Fighter Jet. It was actually a Facebook article. Troy Ordenway writes, these things literally have a mind of their own. It's like Transformers meets Terminator.
He's not wrong.
He ain't wrong.
Dude, I worry about those Boston Dynamics boys. Like, I know they're getting paid a pretty penny to fucking make these things, but dude, I had the most disturbing interaction, I feel, with ChatGPT the other day. Now, I don't buy ChatGPT, but I will interact with its like 3.5 software. Mm-hmm. And it always tells you, like, if you ask it a question, like, I was discontinued back in 2021. So I asked ChatGPT this. I said, so for you, the world ended September 2021? And it responds, in a sense, yes. My knowledge is based on information available before 2021. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, shit. So it makes me wonder where it's at now.
2023, probably.
Probably two more years of knowledge.
Yeah. Just like, yeah.
But the conversational tone that it gives, the information that's like readily available, like as soon as you hit it, like your phone starts vibrating. It's just like and just like typing out shit, like the answer to your question, and it's fucking wild.
Well,
It's
don't
scary.
trust it. Be suspicious. Be
Yeah, well,
skeptical.
Okay, but now you put that technology inside a fucking like F-22 Raptor, and it's a bad day.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. I'm not very. I don't sleep easily with zombie modes and fighter jets. You're right. But we have some things to get through. FAA controller. That's where you had made the parallel about. They have term limits, more or less, right?
Yeah.
They can't.
56.
Yes. Hangry X Hannibal writes, did you also know that during the government shutdowns, we were required to work without pay while representatives still receive pay? So I'm assuming Hangry X Hannibal is an FAA controller. And by that context clues, he's under 56 years old. Just basically telling you that the government shutdown is now in full effect and he works without pay.
No, it's not in effect.
When I thought it's coming here soon, right?
That
No,
McCarthy thwarted it,
They avoided it. Yeah.
and then they got McCarthy annexed.
They were like, "You did
Hannibal
your
X.
fucking job and kept the government open. Get the fuck out of here, buddy." Like,
Yeah, you made deals with the wrong folks, friend. And then Matt Gaetz was like, "Yo, we got Jewish space lasers to build, baby. Kick some rocks, friend. Kick
These are
rocks,
m-
nerd."
These are these are the most amazing lasers you've ever seen. Any laser you've ever seen. If you've seen Star Wars, multiply that by 1,000,000 times. That's how big these fucking lasers are. They're gonna blast things too.
Well, honestly, that's what was great. Is like they asked Trump outside the courtroom where he's being like persecuted for possible crimes, maybe. And they're like, "Have you heard about the Speaker of the House? Would you be willing to do that?" He's like, "I'd be willing to do that. I've heard it's an option, so I might take him up on it, and then become president. But if they need me to do it, then I'll do it." It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is
ridiculous.
it's as ridiculous. You could not write this. If this was an episode of Game of Cards, no one would buy it.
House
they
of
would-
Cards.
House
Jesus.
of Cards, Game of Cards, Game of Thrones / game.
I'm saying you chastise me for saying the Bat Chamber. All right,
You're right.
I
You're
get
right.
to do that. I get to do this to you.
Okay, well, one is only like 15 years old, and the other is like 80 to 100 years old. So there's a difference.
Fair enough. Same. Okay, so we got two more comments on the same thing. Then we're going to close it out. Blickety Blow writes, "It's a good idea for any politician to be forced to retire somewhere between 60 and 70. They all get pensions, health insurance after 6 years." Fair enough. John Brown 19822. That's right. He's just a shade under 20,000 John Browns that created profiles on TikTok. He writes one of the most poetic things you could ever write. Only. That's it. One word. Only. Don't know what to make of that. It's so deep, but yet it's so dense.
That's a 13-year-old saying like 56.
I wanted to respond, but I thought I'd make it just like hellfire and brimstone back. Don't know what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about? Have you read Shakespeare, you dumb bitch? No.
Yeah, no, I mean that's somebody who has not lived a full life yet. Yeah, like if I died tomorrow, like I'd be like, all right, I had a child, I got married. Yeah, that this person hasn't done any of those things.
Fair enough. We're gonna hold off on the McDonald's versus Burger King quotes or comments until next week. Otherwise, I'm done. Do you guys have any parting words? Stop listening to the weather service. This is the emergency broadcast system.
Sure.
Just run for the hills. We're all doomed anyway.
Good night, everyone.
Or don't pay attention to it either way.
Yeah. Turn your phones off. Stop receiving email. I thought you guys would say something back. Okay, good night. Good night, everybody. I love you. I'm back. Heck, hopefully.